Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. I'm Khadija Tukubra Keilani. Coming up this afternoon, speak against threats to Ghana's democracy, Sam Jonah to Ghanaian journalists. Also, GJA launches 75th anniversary, vows to protect rights of its members. And Otumfuo urges government to divest VRA, Gridco and ECG from economic growth. Remember, this news is also live on Facebook and YouTube at Baina TV. Stay with us for details of the stories. Thank you for staying with us. Now to our first story. The Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Sir Sam Jonah, has called on Ghanaian journalists to actively safeguard the country's democracy by not shying away from addressing critical issues affecting its governance system. He was speaking at the 75th anniversary celebration of the Ghana Journalists Association under the theme 75 Years of Excellence in Journalism, Past, Present and Future.
Sir Sam Jonah emphasized that media professionals in Ghana should serve as paragons of objectivity, promoters of informed discourse, and unwavering champions of freedom and truth. Speaking at the launch of the 75th anniversary celebration of the Ghana Journalists Association in Accra on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, Sam Jonah expressed concern about troubling trends in the national dialogue, urging the renewed commitment to the principles championed by Ephraim Amu, especially the current era where democratic values and social cohesion face significant tests. Furthermore, he encouraged media practitioners to utilize their platforms to address pressing issues such as the perceived politicization of state agencies against dissenters, encroachments on press freedom, public skepticism regarding the impartiality of the judiciary, and the concerning lack of accountability in the public finance management. He said this is the time for patriots to find their voices against the perceived weaponization of the state agencies against opponents, the creeping assault on freedom of the press, the perceived lack of trust in the dispensation of justice, and the pathetic lack of accountability in the protection of the public press. He further added that it is time to be fearless and courageous. Citizens cannot and must not compromise on their defense of the national interest, the success of their attempt at the democracy.
That the Ghana Journalists Association is more than a collective of individuals. Indeed, it is a symbol of our nation's resilience, its aspirations, and its unwavering pursuit of progress. Inspired by the legacy of our forebears and the timeless call of Yanara Assassini, let us forge ahead of being overly the context and the motive. Trust, they say, but verify. And when you have your who, what, where, why, and how, do not be afraid to publish the truth. It is better to tell the truth that offends than look on timidly, sheepishly, and cowardly as the case in the country's interest is captured for the benefit of the few.
The Ghana Baptist Convention has recently called on President Akufo-Addo to approve the Human Sexual Rights and in February 2024, but has faced obstacles with the president citing legal challenges as his reasons for not signing it.
Speaking to the media, the president of the Ghana Baptist Convention, Reverend Dr. Charles Ampofo, emphasized the church's opposition to the act. Reverend Dr. Ampofo stated that the Bible instructed us to live in a way that is ordained as a male to a female and a female to a male. The concept of LGBTQ is therefore an Akufo-Addo to
Meanwhile, Albert Dumfor, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, has expressed the association's resolve to take assertive steps to protect its members from all types of assault. The president of the Ghana Journalists Association made the call in Accra at the launch of the 75th anniversary celebration of Ghana Journalists Association on Wednesday, 17th April 2024.
At the launch of the 75th anniversary of the GJA in Accra on Wednesday, themed 75 years of excellence in journalism, honoring the past, embracing the present, and shaping the future, the president of Ghana Journalists Association emphasized the association's commitment to contest any laws that violate freedom of speech, straying from the principles of the rule of law. He said, in recent times, journalists and media outlets have been targeted by political hoodlums. While on assignment, the GJA has no choice but to take aggressive action to combat this breach of media rights. He added that the association was forced to blacklist two important political figures whose followers attacked journalists who were performing their routine duties without any provocation. He further said there is also a worrying trend of unprofessional practice by a section of the media due to many factors, including lack of appreciation for professional ethics and media ownership. He stated that the anniversary celebration will be used as a platform to address these pressing issues. The GJA will not condone any form of unprofessionalism as the crucial election period approaches, and they will still strive to uphold higher standards of professionalism to safeguard their esteemed democracy.
Our pioneers faced, including the pain of imprisonment and human rights violation today, the media face persecution from inimical laws that criminalizes freedom of expression as well as assault, which is a deviation from the rule of law. In recent times, journalists and media outlets have been targeted by political hoodlums while on assignment. The GJA has no choice but to take aggressive actions to combat this breach of media rights. We were forced to blacklist two important political figures whose followers attacked journalists who were performing their routine duties without any provocation. Let me point out that the ban on Farouk Mahama, the MP for Yendi, is still in force. There is also a worrying trend of unprofessional practices by a section of the media due to many factors, including lack of appreciation for professional ethics and media ownership. We will use this anniversary celebration to address some of these critical matters. I must emphasize, however, that the GJA will not tolerate any act of unprofessionalism as we approach the vital election time. We shall try our best to maintain better levels of professionalism to protect our enviable democracy.
Now, in some other stories, Asante-Hene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II advised the Akufo-Addo government to confront economic realities and prioritize policies fostering industrial growth and job creation. He recommended the involvement of private sector partnerships with public enterprises like the Volta River Authority and the Ghana Grid Company to attract essential financial investments.
The remarks were made during the commissioning of a 430-kilometer natural gas pipeline by Gensa Energy, aimed at bolstering the nation's power sector. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II emphasized the inefficiency of solely government-owned companies and advocated for their diversification into the private sector to attract more investment and expertise. He specifically mentioned entities like VRA, Gridco, and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, as candidates candidate for divestment to the private sector. The Asante-Hene highlighted the financial challenges faced by the government and suggested that divesting these entities will alleviate the burden while also attracting more investment. He stressed the importance of facing economic realities and delineating the roles of government and the private sector in driving economic development. Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II praised the private sector for its ability to attract investors and advocated for replicating such successes in other sectors through private sector involvement.
But Jonathan, I agree with you that government should be looking at policies instead of being involved in industry and everything. It doesn't work. And it's about time Ghana realizes that it's not going to work for government to be involved in setting up companies and all those things. It doesn't work. Government should be contained with policies, and then private sector should be involved in setting up industries and everything. It works that way, and therefore you can attract more investments to come to the country, and it creates more employment. VRA and others are all government establishment. Let's give it out and divest to private sector, and then we inject money in there. And get the right people to do it. Greatco and others are all for private sector. Let's give them the money, get the qualified people, divest government from it, and let them do it. Other than that, electricity company is in a situation where we don't know, but that also must be divested and give it to private sector. Why are we still holding it when we don't have the money? We are not even able to collect all the taxes that we want. We are going to IMF for money and all those things. We are hanging on to industries that we cannot maintain and run. Look, it's about time we faced realities and then decided on what government should be doing and what private sector should be doing. So that this is a testimony of private sector investment. And they were able to attract Mr. Oppenheimer. His family has all the money in South Africa. They were able to attract him to come here because he believed in private sector. And they've done it in various countries in Africa. So that is how we have to be looking at it, to attract more of these investments into the private sector so we can do it. My son here, when he was, Nanyampo was saying that those small generators and all those given to Bui and all those, go and review the policy and let the government know how to go about it.
And in politics this afternoon, the People's National Convention has dismissed report that some members of the National Executive Committee, representing 11 out of 16 regions of the PNC, have resigned to form a new party, the People's National Party. The statement denounced the claim that 11 regions supported the new party as a falsehood aimed at deceiving the general public.
In a statement released on April 17, 2024, signed by the National Communications Secretary, Audu Ishaq, the PNC urged its members to remain steadfast and not be influenced by what is described as the deceitful actions of the former General Secretary, Janet Nabila, and her group. The PNC also declared the formation of the PNP as illegal, citing its historical roots as a derivative of the original PNP. The party vowed to pursue all legal means to prevent the use of the PNP name. The PNC calls on the rank and file of the party, most especially the branch, constituency and regional executives, to stay resolute and avoid the temptation to be swayed by the disgruntled former General Secretary and her cabal, who have always resorted to all manners of lies in their attempts to bring down the PNC for their selfish and self-seeking agenda. The party hereby states that the alleged support of the decision by the 11 out of 16 regions is a blatant lie intended to mislead the general public into believing that the supposed new political party is worth its salt. Furthermore, the decision to adopt the People's National Party amounts to an illegality since the PNC is an offshoot of the PNP.
And now in some sports stories, the Central Regional Commander of Prisons and the officer in charge of Anchor 4 maximum security prisons. Edward Eshan has indicated that organizing a football league at the prison is a huge challenge. The 2023-24 Ankafor Maximum Prison Division 1 League, which is recognized by the Ghana Football Association, is in week 10, and it takes place in the Cape Coast in the Ankafor Maximum Security Prisons with 4 blocks representing clubs.
In an interview with the media, Edward Eshan remarked the organization lack in prisons decrease strain and stress on the inmates by giving them the opportunity to use their talent. He said, it is a bigger challenge for a prison to organize league, a super league or a gala. The inmates on their own get donation from relatives and friends. They provide the funding to the extent of getting referees outside to support them. The administration also supports to get football and first aid kits. They need the corporate body to support their inmates because true football is a form of reformation and rehabilitation. When they get the access to play football, the pressure and stress on them goes off. This is the 3rd season of the Ankafor Maximum Prison Division 1 League. The prison also organizes its own FA Cup with the winner playing the league champion in a Super Cup.
And this is all we have for you on our midday news. For more stories, log on to our website, bainamultimedia.com. I'm Khadija Tukubra Keilani. Have a good afternoon.